Hello and welcome to the University of Law. In today's video I am reviewing and unboxing Doctor Who the Ninth Doctor Series 2 Volume 3 Hidden Depths. So you can see from this front cover we've got the Ninth Doctor, we've got a couple of his old companions from his time as the Eighth Doctor and a couple of enemies, including one a very familiar face there. Same artwork is reproduced on the back, and then inside we've got all three stories on separate discs, just like the old days. So let's start with the first story, which is The Seas of Titan. It was a really fun Silurian story. It was original. It didn't feel like they were treading old ground. It was interesting to see that, you know, there's that. It turns the idea on its head that they were always here in terms of us being on Earth. Well, now when humans start to branch out into space, they were always there as well, because they escaped Earth themselves earlier. In terms of the product, we've got disc with advert for the first run, Ninth Doctor stories. It's so nice. I can see why they do the new slim packaging, but it is so nice to get these old-fashioned style. We've got artwork, photograph inside, with the original 2005 logo on there as well. So that's the first story. A good strong opener to the box set. Really enjoyed it, and Chris Eccleston's really coming into his stride with it now. He's especially confident in the next story. I found he just owned it. He was just so fun as a character. Starting to bring in some of the ideas about the Time War, sort of touching on that, but this was a really strong historical. I didn't know much about the character, actually, the main character in it, who's a real historical person. And at first I didn't quite get why they were involved in a war story until we got to the kind of final scene where you learn the Doctor goes forward in her timeline and we learn a little bit more about her, and it came together really, really well. So a really strongly written story. It was just a really good historical that really used the main character well and did what Doctor Who's always set out to do, which is to entertain as well as to educate the listener. So really enjoyed that one. Again, we've got 2005 logo in here, and if I pull out the booklet, let's see what we've got. Photograph again, and if I open up the CD, what's advertised here? Oh, Back to Earth, which was the first release of this current second season of audio adventures. And finally, flat pack, which, as with the Brigadier, it's just nice to link the Ninth Doctor more completely into the rest of Doctor Who lore. In terms of the Brigadier story in Series 1, it was nice to have him meet a classic television character. Now it's nice for him to meet some characters from the wider Big Finish lore. It was a really strong story. Again, really clever story. It worked really well. All the actors got to flex their muscles a bit by playing multiple. Well, I say multiple parts. It was the same part, but you know, sort of a parallel version of themselves, future parallel version. But yeah, it came together really well. It was a really clever idea. It had a good reset without feeling forced. The line that stands out to me is when Liv says something along the lines of, "So the old you, he died," and there's a little bit of that kind of sort of Time War, post-Time War Doctor comes through, that kind of that lone survivor sort of touches on for one of the first times in this range. But it was just amazing, because it's the first time I'd ever kind of thought about the old Doctor being dead, really. But he says, no, he's still out there. And it is just interesting to have the Ninth Doctor kind of referencing the Paul McGann Eighth Doctor in an audio drama, and, you know, acknowledging that he used to be him. Of course, it's 2 lifetimes ago now, whereas at the time we just thought it was the previous lifetime at the time of broadcast for the Ninth Doctor. But yeah, no, it was a really fun story in that respect, a timey-wimey story. Yeah, and if I open it up, inside, we've again got the 2005 logo in there. If I can get the booklet out. We've also got a picture of Chris Eccleston inside. And then wonderfully, as with these these original Big Finish style releases, it is a 2-disc set. So we've got the artwork again on this disc. When I open it, we've also got an advert for the last release and a bonus disc with a documentary just here as well. So there we have it. But yeah, no, this the whole box set did stand out really well. I enjoyed all of the stories in the box set. The nice thing in this is that we get a little reference to the fact that Liv's telling him you need to find someone at some point, and that's obviously going to be Rose, we know for. So it's nice that kind of when he eventually meets Rose, maybe he was thinking of Liv's advice when he took her on. But yeah, no, another solid box set. I probably enjoyed this the most of all the Night Doctor box sets so far. It felt like everything's really hitting its stride now, and I just can't believe how thick and fast these releases are coming, that we're already 18 stories into the Ninth Doctor's era Big Finish. But what did you think? Did you enjoy this release? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I look forward to speaking to you soon.